guys. God, lighting is so hard. I've got the right lighting stuff, but because of the white wall, it's changing everything. See how this is like really white? It's because of that. Oh, so then you like move, but I can't move now because I've set everything up here. Lighting is really a difficult thing. I think it's a lot easier than it is, or will I do? No, I'm a bit too light, I think. It's just the way it is. I just look very yellow. So hi guys, welcome to live stream. I do these talks every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 p.m. French time. You're very welcome to join. But always check my website because there's often times when I can't make it. So just check to make sure that I am doing it. On my Facebook page. I apologise for last Wednesday. I put it on my Facebook page, but I forgot to put it on my website. So I apologise about that. If you turned up and I wasn't there. If you want to come to one of my events, the next event I'm doing is it's for Easter, so the end of March, and that's in Spain. You can find out about that on my website, which should be linked to this video. You should see it in the right hand corner. There's a little link that says I, and you just click on that and it'll take you to my website, and you look under events. Oh, that's better. I didn't look so white now. So I always like to start with a bit of silent sitting. If you want to call it meditation, then you can call it meditation. If you want to call it sitting, then you can call it sitting, or just Lisa being quiet. And just for advice, like I would recommend doing it rather than skipping forward and just waiting for me to talk. And so let me just tell you about what happens when you first start sitting. Is that often it does feel uncomfortable, and that doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. And when you're sitting, it's not about like getting to somewhere. It's not about staying with the breath or staying with the moment. It's just about allowing the mind to settle. So you know when you like shake a bottle and all the bubbles come up, it's just allowing those bubbles to settle. And that often can take some time because your mind is so used to activity and always doing something and always being entertained by TV, by talking, by taking information in, reading books, playing computer games, working, whatever it is, that when you come to just sitting, the mind has a bit of a hissy fit, like it doesn't know what to do with itself. It gets agitated. And so often when you first start sitting, there is a period of discomfort. What you can do if you want is you could follow the breath. That's what the Buddhists teach, but for me, I would, or another thing that you could teach is like going into the sensations of the body, like putting the attention into where the feelings in your body. But I would just recommend sitting and just seeing what happens. And if the mind obsessively thinks or compulsively thinks or is agitated, just allow that to happen. There's nothing to run away from. Exciting. I do a lot of sitting. When my life is a bit quieter, when I'm busy, obviously I don't do a lot of sitting. But yeah, often when I do one-to-one sessions, I sit in silence with people often. And just when I wake up in the morning, I like to get up and just sit in silence, or just sit there. So the subject today is connection. I like putting these titles in because then it gives me like a starting, something to start with. So what is connection? So I think what a lot of people in our society consider to be connection is when you have something in common with someone. So say if you're on holiday in Spain and you meet other Dutch people, and you're Dutch and you meet other Dutch people, and you find out that they work in the same industry as you, and you've got lots to talk about your home, about your family, about your job, then I think this is what people would call connection. To connect with someone, maybe when there's something in common or similar interests. It could be that people from totally different backgrounds connect, but they connect through being interested in each other's different backgrounds. There's lots of other things that people would call connection, like your blood family, so the family you're brought up with. But what I'm trying to point to is that a lot of people in our society would name connection as something mental. Because your job, your background, your experience, all of that's known now through thinking. So if you meet someone and you connect with them because you're from the same country, because you work in the same industry, that's a mental connection because that requires memory and thought and words to connect. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful part of being human, that I can connect with you verbally. There can be a mutual understanding through putting words together. And that's one form of connection. But there's another form of connection which most people have forgotten. And it sits there silently, but the focus is on words, thinking, activity, and things. But there's another form of connection. And that connection is, I suppose, what traditional Advaita teachers would teach, is consciousness. It's the empty looking. It's beautiful. You could also call it presence. And the reason that that's connection is because that consciousness that non-duality teachers speak about, or other spiritual teachers speak about, is everywhere. And it's actually looking from everywhere. And this is missed because the focus on the human focuses on words, on thinking, and that's the dualistic experience. So this other part is missed. It's overlooked, but it's there all the time. You've been told since you were a child that you're somebody that's looking from inside the body, and you've been repetitively told that. And because we're an animal, and like other mammals, like other animals, we learn through repetition. So because we keep being told that we're a name inside the body, we're Lisa inside the body, we're Ronnie inside the body, we're Andreas inside the body, because we keep being told that, that becomes the energetical experience. It feels like you're somebody looking inside the body. But actually, there was this looking that was prior to you being told that. There was this experiencing which was there prior to you being told that you are somebody, you are a name looking inside the body. And energetically, that looking was everywhere. I know that sounds weird because to you, you're so convinced that you're looking from inside the body that seems impossible. But actually looking is everywhere. So if you just shut your eyes, you can try this. I'm very phlegmy the last couple of days. I've just come back to France and I think it's 90% humidity. We're just kind of like basically in a cloud at the moment because it's in the hills. So it makes me a little bit like a phlegmy, like runny nose, all that. So if you just shut your eyes, just try this. See if you can find, without thinking and without memory, where you perceive my voice from. So your thinking says, I perceive it from inside my body. I perceive Lisa from inside my body. So just forget about that voice. See if you can find where this person is that perceives the sound of my voice, or where this perceiving is located in the direct experience. So obviously I'm stopping speaking now, so you can listen to the click of the clock, the tick of the clock. But where is the perceiver of the sound in the direct experience? See if you can actually find it with your hand. Like place your hand on where the perceiver is. And if you answer with your mind and with thinking, you'll find a location of the perceiver. But if there's an exploration beyond that, you'll begin to see that there is nothing in relationship with the sound. There is simply the sound. And in the sound is the consciousness, is the big consciousness, is the perception. There's not something, someone listening to the sound. There is simply sound happening. And in that sound is the consciousness. And this is true connection. Realizing that there is no inside or outside reality. This is one experience. This is consciousness experiencing itself as many. It's oneness experiencing itself as many. And this is the same with that sense of being, that sense of aliveness. That aliveness isn't located somewhere, it's everywhere in everything. So this is happening all the time, that this experience isn't divided. Everywhere you go, everything that happens isn't happening to you. It's not happening to someone. That someone that you believe you are is appearing in it. It's not experiencing it. But everywhere you go as that consciousness, everything is that consciousness. There is no separation. There isn't somebody experiencing. There is consciousness everywhere. So in one way you could say it's like life walking inside itself. but looking at itself from inside the dream. So everything you see, everything you hear, everything you feel is the experiencer. This is love as well. This is what true love is and true connection. Seeing everything as yourself, not as a thought, not as an idea, but as a direct experience. And that direct experience is only found in what is. It's not found in what's not. So tonight I feel like working with someone like I do in my sessions to show you what I do. I do different things in my sessions. I sometimes do sitting with people and like a meditation, like I talk them through sensation and through what's actually happening rather than what they imagine's happening, which is wholeness. And then the other thing that I do in sessions, which is what I want to do today, is I explore a dynamic with someone. So if you want to call in, don't call, just send a message saying you want to explore a dynamic. So you obviously have to have a dynamic before you call. You can't call and then hope that one comes. So when I say a dynamic, what I mean is there's something that the mind is getting stuck on and it's present now. It's like a difficulty. It could be that you feel insecure at your work, that you want to leave your job, or you can't make decisions. Could be anything. But you have to have a headset with a microphone, and you have to have good internet, and you have to speak good enough English so we can communicate. And if you don't speak good enough English, you could say, and maybe there'll be somebody that could translate for you. So it can be very basic English, but enough so we can communicate. Sometimes it's been a struggle for some people, not very often though. So you need a headset, and when I mean a headset, I mean like headphones with a microphone, so that can be your Apple ones or your phone ones, and you need to have used Skype before and know that the audio and the video is working. And when we work together, we'll be working through Skype, so you have to turn the volume of live stream off. Don't worry if you get all in a muddle, I'll help you when you call. And you've got to be prepared to be vulnerable, because this is recorded. So and there's other people watching, so you've got to be prepared to do that as well. What you can do is you can change your name if you want. So you can go in and tap your name on Skype, and it will bring up your information, and then you can change your name if you don't want me to know or read out your name. So you just tap on Skype. So it's a lot of information, and so if you'd like to work on something, then just send me a message. I'll just say some hello as well. Hi, Marinda. So hi Marinda. So maybe if you feel comfortable enough, you'd want to call in. Hi Ramon. Nice sweater, thanks. Super red. Hey Izzy. Hi Thomas. Hi Holly. Hi Edith. Hi Nick. Hi Renate. Just have to move this up so I can see my computer better. It's hard to hear my words. Huh. Are you sure about that? Is that just you? Just let me check. Oh yeah, it is. I bet you my mic's not working. Hang on. Hi, is that any better? Hello? Hello? Okay, just let me turn up the volume. Just 1 second, it will just pause the video while I turn it up. 1 sec. Okay. Hello? 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 Okay, I'm just going to turn it up a bit more. 1 sec. So I'll just go offline again while I turn it up. 1 sec. Hey guys. Hello? 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 So I think that's quite good now. Okay, so is there anyone that would like to work with me? Hi, Bia. Hello, Lisa. Okay, so I saw Chris first. So do you still want to? You said maybe. Do you? If you want to talk, Chris, then call in as you're the first person I saw. If not, then you don't need to call in. Hey, Chris. Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Not so well.
Hi.
Hang on a sec. But you have to turn.
One second.
Okay. I just turned my volume up as well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But just let me turn you up 1 sec.
Hello.
Hi, yeah. I'm just turning you up. Just 1 sec.
Yeah, because I can hear you, but not that great. You know, like I hear you very, like the volume is sort of low.
Yeah.
Never mind, I can just put them into my ears so I.
Well, what you can do is you can turn the volume up on Skype.
Oh, okay. Let me see where I can do.
I'm not sure how you do it because they've updated Skype and changed it. So I have to look
I
to.
think I'm on a maximum, you know. So anyway, if you can hear me properly, I'll just squeeze the.
Well, it's better that you're comfortable, to be honest.
Okay.
It's much better. But just let me look to see because you're very quiet as well.
I'm not really sure if I can up the volume, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it on Skype anymore. Services. I used to be able to do it.
Can I just try to exchange my headphones? Can I just
Yeah.
bring just 1 second?
Okay.
Okay, so how is it? Is it better? Is it better?
Not really. Not really. I don't know though if it's my computer because I'm not sure if other people can hear you. Maybe they can.
Is it better if I just speak like this, right to the computer, or not really?
No, because I think that your audio is in your headphones.
Okay. Okay, so if the voice is not good, I don't want to take other people's space when, you know, you can do the therapy, you know, because if it's not working for you, then
It's loud. I don't know. Just let me check. 1 second. I can't tell because I can't hear what other people can hear. So just let me check and let's see if it's loud enough. Okay. So now you speak.
Okay. So basically, the topic I wanted to talk to you about is about how basically emotions.
Yeah, I think it's loud enough.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
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 Okay, so you said that if we have some sort of pattern that we get stuck, we can discuss with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that from like self-analysis, I have this pattern of slightly falling into the realm of victimhood.
Yeah.
I think I'm quite a strong fighter in the outside world, you know. I don't usually have in a dual world, you know. I don't usually have a problem like in business or like this, but my sort of like emotional ups and downs come when it has to do with family.
Yeah.
Especially my mother or my son.
Yeah.
And there I'm losing the strength to call it like this, you know.
You're losing the strength to what, sorry?
Sorry?
What did you say? You're losing the strength?
Yeah, I'm losing the strength, you know, my emotions start to go more like on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I want to be liked by them. We have a quite family, we sort of accept and love each other a lot, but still there are moments where sort of when somebody says something not exactly what I appreciate, you know, then it sort of like hurts me. And like the more I observe it, the more I sort of feel that the hurt goes like deeper.
Yeah.
And I can't work with it very well, you know.
Yeah.
It's sort of then I have physical symptoms like lower back pains and things like this. And, you know, I think I've been through quite a lot of therapies, and I think I sort of at least very intellectually quite get what
Yeah.
you're saying, your message, and I read a lot of books and everything, you know, but I can't work with these emotions when this actually happens, you know.
Yeah.
And when I try to do it like logically, okay, it doesn't matter, it's just what's happening. Sometimes it works, but a lot of times it does not.
Yeah. So let's go into it. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you just shut your eyes, I find shutting your eyes works best because I ask you to go into your body.
Mm-hmm.
So so I want you to think of a particular situation recently where you've had an interaction with a family member where it hurt.
I think it would be the chest area.
Just, you don't have to go into the body yet, sorry, I just meant the situation. So if you think of the situation.
Yes.
And could you elaborate with me? You don't need to use names, or you don't need to say it was my mother or sister, you can just...
No, it's okay. I don't have problem with sort of saying, you know, I
Yeah.
don't mind sharing, you know. Basically, it was like, I think it was like over this Christmas time when my son returned from university, and they have really, really close connection with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more like energetically that I felt that I don't belong there to that group.
Yeah.
You know, these dynamics 2-on-1, 3-on-2. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So something like this. And I sort of was feeling like left out, to be
Yeah.
honest, and like looked down upon, which I'm making it maybe a little more drama. But
Yeah.
because I think the pattern of this happening is for maybe a year or two now, I just sort of become very annoyed by the, or like out of power by the even the slightest sign
Yeah.
of this starting to happen.
Yeah.
Is that enough to describe it?
Yeah, yeah, that is. So let's go to that sense of feeling out of power.
Mm-hmm.
That you're powerless to, or why don't you tell me a bit about that sense of being out of power? Like, what does that mean to you?
That I want to be, for example, on this example,
Yeah.
I wanted to be part of that group. I wanted to sort of share that with them.
Yeah.
Not that they sent me away, but I just felt energetically I don't belong there. The sense was too strong, you know, and the actions then sort of, they were not so dramatic, you know, but I just feel it, you know, I just feel this, I don't know if I'm overly sensitive, but not in a good way maybe, that I think I can quite soon pick up the energies of, you know, like if somebody's pushing me away or accepting me.
Yeah.
And I felt a lot of pushed away. So maybe losing power was not the right word,
Yeah.
but I felt more like not welcomed, you know, more
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. So when you think about that feeling of not being welcome, where do you feel that in your body?
Sometimes it can be in the chest.
Yeah.
But if I can like say it really like directly, it's like it almost feels like it's everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
It's like in a system, more like
Yeah.
this. I can't really say it's very special occasion. I think it's more like in the system, and then I guess majority would be in the head.
Yeah. So just I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can take your time to answer. So are they Are they welcome to be themselves with you? Are they welcome in your life?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah. So right now, if you go into your heart and you go into your feelings, are they welcome in? Or do you want to hold them back?
Yes, at this very moment, yes, very much.
They're welcome in?
Yes.
And what does that feel like to welcome them in? To want them to be present?
I think it's very satisfying and it's very calm and just like a general feeling that, yes, that's all right. It's nice to be like this.
Yeah. So just feel that you welcome them. And do you welcome all of their qualities?
And here we go. No, I have problem with aggression. Yeah, I don't like aggressiveness, you know. I sort of have this tendency always try to talk things out, more sort of, I don't know if my nature is more peaceful than, I'm not so maybe dynamic as they are, or maybe not so Pita style, you know, like from Ayurveda, but you know, I'm sort of more like, I want to do everything peacefully, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to fight.
So how does that make you feel, their aggression?
Sorry?
How does that make you feel, their aggression?
I don't think I can find the right word in English, but I'm getting smaller and smaller. Like I'm becoming, like when you imagine a body, like I'm shrinking. That's the word, yeah. Like yeah, and fear.
And what does it mean to shrink to you? Like what does it mean that you're not welcome or that you're disappearing? What does that mean?
More that I'm not welcomed.
So when they show aggression, it means that you're not welcome.
Yes.
And when they show aggression, are they welcome?
Definitely not by me. Mm-mm. Like
So
I need to avoid.
So when they show aggression, you don't want them in your vicinity. You're not welcoming them.
Yes, I don't want them in my physical presence. Yes.
But it makes you feel like you're not welcome.
Yes. I see what you mean.
So just sit with that for a moment and just feel into your body. All we need to do is just become conscious of what's happening.
I can feel that even after this sort of 2-3 minutes, I calm down a lot.
Yeah. So what other things do they do that make you feel not welcome?
maybe because like a whole family, we sort of, I don't want to say are into this subject because, you know, that can sometimes sound very weird, you know, but like one member of my family, she read the Maharshi's books so long time ago, and then my son, I think he has it quite sort of more naturally and less trauma in his childhood. So therefore, I just feel like whenever we sort of talk about these things and like that, then I'm not sort of not as clever, or you know, I can't really sort of, I just feel these things. I'm not very good at like vocally describing them, you know, like my speaking abilities are not sort of that great, and whenever we sort of discuss this subject and I say something and I don't explain it that properly, you know, I just always feel like it's pointed out to me that okay, it's not exactly like what you say. So I think it's just going around in these circles of like not being enough, you know, I guess that's what you call. Yeah.
So where do you feel that now in your body when you talk about that?
Where?
Yeah. Do you have a sensation that comes up when you think about not being able to talk about it with them?
This may be in the chest area, in the heart area, lungs, and all this place. That's where I feel it the most.
So when you are dismissed by them, when they point out to you that it's not quite right what you're saying, do you associate that with not being welcome, with not being part of the group?
I guess yes. Yes.
Do you think that's actually what's being said in that moment? That they're saying to you that you're not welcome or that you're left out?
Maybe it is just my association with it, because I feel like in a child in the first year in a school, when you know you can write the letter A and the teacher will come and repeatedly will show you like this is how you have to do it. Then I try again, not good enough, and again. So something like this. So yes, maybe this also associates that feeling of like not being enough and not being welcomed. I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do pretty understand that maybe it's like my exaggeration of it, and I'm trying to be so careful when these things are happening to try to pick it up as soon as it starts to evoke these emotions. And sometimes I'm fast enough, but sometimes, you know,
It goes,
it is because it's so, you know, this is the pattern what you said, you know, because it is repeating so often, you know, it's almost like, you know, they say it's like I'm allergic to it, you know, like as soon as it starts to happening, it's like the body, the memory, it just sort of comes again and again. And I really tried to work hard through some therapies to get this out of the system, sometimes with better luck, sometimes with least luck, but you know, this is the pattern, you know.
Yeah. I wouldn't try to get it out of your system. I think it's about totally embracing it. And so when that pain comes up in that moment, it's an embracing of it and seeing that your feelings are real, that what you're experiencing in that moment is real to you, but it's not actually the truth of the situation. It's not that people are rejecting you. But let's go back to that feeling more. So when they do that to you, do you then reject them?
Yes, I judge them.
In what way do you judge them?
I compare. Can I just sort of be honest completely as it comes?
Yeah.
I just say to myself like, whoa, if I would be in this situation, I don't think I would react like this. I sort of feel like it's unnecessary to make such a drama out of nothing, you know, like maybe my attitude would be more like, I wouldn't say non-caring, but less drama, less over-dramatization of what politicians said, what, I mean, I'm saying stupid examples, but I'm just saying everything that just comes, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe not so over, not such an exaggeration
Yeah.
of things that I would pass, you know, like I would say, oh, whatever, you know. So I compare myself, yeah, and I judge their behavior, yes.
And then in that judgment, do you feel that you recoil from them?
Sorry, do the English?
Do you, when you judge them, do you feel like you pull away from them?
I want to pull away, yes, yes. At the same time, I want, it's like 50-50. At the same time, I want to crash that and come close to them, you know, like
Yeah.
maybe like a force,
Yeah.
you know, like I want to change and twist the situation for it to be.
Yeah. You have a good understanding of yourself and what's happening.
Yeah, I do, but again, as I say, you know, it's like that catching that first time,
Yeah.
and you know, it's sometimes, it's like even, it's so slight, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, it can be one look and, you know, the whole system just starts to work
Yeah.
out itself, you know. So once I wrote you something similar and you said sometimes you just have to leave, like physically leave,
Yeah.
when these things do happen. And I sort of, if I can honestly say like this, I sort of give up on it, you know, because they say either embrace it, but sometimes you just have to leave.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So I think just at the moment till I will completely accept that
Yeah.
it's just happening and nobody's doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
And I
need
think you're doing a great job with it. Like you have a good understanding of yourself and you have a good understanding of what's happening.
yes.
And the big key to it is seeing that connection is beyond interaction with people. So it's beyond your conversations. So it's seeing that the connection is there despite what happens. Despite you walking away or you recoiling or you hurting or you saying something, the connection is underneath that. Because everything they do and say is inside of you. So not just inside of you as consciousness, but inside of you as in the projection of the brain. Everything is a projection of the brain. Like everything is an interpretation of the brain. It's like everything you see is your neural pathways. It's the way that your brain is set up. So on the human, sorry?
Can I just ask you, do you think that these neural patterns, can they be sort of at least slightly reprogrammed with like some sort of work on yourself?
Yeah, sure. But the freedom isn't in wiping yourself clean of neural pathways, because as soon as you recondition it, you're going to get new ones. There's always going to be these connections. That's the way we work. You're going to label this as that, and this is that, and this means this. That's the way our brains function. So everything is a projection of your brain, and seeing it for what it is, seeing it impersonally, that your brain works like this, and you can have more balanced connections, and you can try to strive towards becoming and having a more balanced outlook and understanding yourself. But you understand yourself really well, it seems, and you understand your feelings, which is really good, and you can keep exploring that, and that will make everything more calmer. But the connection is underneath that. So everything is a projection of your brain. All you see is your neural pathways everywhere. So everything is happening inside of your brain in a way. Well, definitely it is. And then also as consciousness. And this is where the freedom is that your connection to your family and your son is in presence, is in this instant. is in the direct experience, and this is the confusion. We look for connection in what we think and feel, but connection is actually in the seeing of your son, the hearing of your son. It's in the very instant. It's not in your relationship as such with your son. It's in the direct experiencing of your son and your family.
I can grasp this intellectually, absolutely.
Yeah.
With you and, like people, I don't know how to say it, but with more like a gentle people.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, as soon as you feel like aggression or something, then it makes
I'm
your
losing all theories.
yeah.
I'm just overtaken and like that's it, So.
Yeah. And just see that as the perfect play of things. You can strive to change that and to overcome that, but it's also the perfect play of things. The reaction you have and their reaction comes directly from the beginning of everything. You cannot separate it out from anything. So it comes from the Big Bang. It's an effect of the creation of the dinosaurs, the planets, the universe. Like it's in perfect alignment. You or them aren't ultimately doing something wrong.
Yes, I've been through that circle that first you blame the others, then you blame yourself, then you blame and blame and blame, and then there comes a point where you have nobody else to blame. You just don't know what to do.
Yeah. That's a beautiful place to be because then it begins to become less important, and then what's seen as being more important is the presence. The feeling of your bum on the seat, the breathing. Because all your attempts to find freedom in your neural pathways, in the world and in what you think, doesn't work. But where does all that thinking come from? And this no place is the freedom, remembering this no place. And then the brain will play out the story it plays out. So now how do you feel inside your body?
Right now?
Yeah.
If I can be honest, for example, now I'm extremely happy that I did have a chance to talk to you. That's honest. That, yes, of course, I feel, yes, I feel happy.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel happy now because I got to talk to you. That's it,
Yeah. Nice.
So simple.
Nice.
And sometimes when you do this work, like you said, you have to, well, as you said, psychology is a big part of this, like sometimes when you say like you work on yourself, and sometimes, then you have this psychological work in the dual world, and then you are listening to this or feeling, I rather say I'm feeling these things, I'm not sort of maybe that great at listening or blah, blah. And, and then you just, like, there is a moment then you think you've done quite a lot of psychological work, and then you just have to just observe it and not to get so attached to it.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, how it works in a, like, I won't say non-duality because everything it is, but the theory and then your experience, and sometimes it to me seems like it's a never-ending work.
Yeah. On the human level, it is. On the human level, it is never-ending, but on the absolute level, it always ends here. So just to register that feeling. So that feeling that you get. So just go into that feeling you get when you think it's never-ending. Can you feel that now, or is it not present?
No, now I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it's okay then. Nice.
But this is nothing like, sort of like, sometimes, I feel so bad when I talk to somebody because you say everybody wants something from everyone, yeah. So I just hope, that now it was like, I didn't sort of, but I'm happy I talked. Egoistically, I'm happy I talked.
Yeah.
That's it, more.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Lovely to
Nice
speak with
see
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh. Hi, Deanna. Oh wow, everybody's telling me the sound is really bad. I don't like it when I'm streaming and then that happens. It's the same as what I always do. I don't know why the sound is so bad. Let me go and see if I can work it out. Hello?
Hello.
So is there anyone else that would like to call in? So remember that you've got to have a microphone and your video's got to be working, please. So just send a message. If you've sent it before, I most probably haven't seen it, so just send another message. Hey, Deanna.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
Hello.
Hiya. I'm not sure why the volume's so low. Just 1 second.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, but it's really low, like the last speaker.
Oh, yeah. Is it better now?
Not really, it's the same. I think it's my
I'll
end.
try without the headphones.
Okay.
Is it better now? Okay.
Mm-mm. It's better with the headphones because of the the feedback. Just 1 sec. I'm just going to try and see if I can put this louder. 1 second.
Yeah, that's good. I hear you very well.
Yeah, I really don't hear you so well. That's funny.
Okay.
The day that I decide to take calls and then...
I'll try to speak. It was better.
Sorry? Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
I think think you're listening to two audios. I can tell that you're listening to two audios. So you need to turn live stream off.
Oh yeah.
I could see it in your face. Your eyes were like.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I hear you very well.
Oh, good.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's just really quiet. I don't know why it's really quiet. I know, maybe it's because it's not plugged in. 1 second, let me try. Plug in. Maybe it's trying to preserve battery. Is that any better? Try and speak now. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah? Hi, no, it's no better. Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't think anyone else can hear you.
Okay.
I think you've turned the wrong audio off, so you've got to turn the audio off on live stream and the audio on Skype.
Yes.
That's right. Okay,
Yes.
good.
Okay. It should be okay now.
Yeah,
Should be
good.
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
what dynamic
Good.
is it that you'd like to work with?
Well, I think it's quite general, but I see it manifesting in different areas of my life. It's like I want to open to love, but the mind doesn't want to let go. And I could give you more examples when it happens, like in romantic relationships where I really want to open up and love the person, but if they disagree with me, I close. I really want to open up to what is, and I see the mind doesn't want to let go. It just keeps me locked in fear.
Yeah.
And I have the impression lately that no matter what I do, and I see this dynamic. It's like it's a point. It's between love and between fear. It's somewhere it doesn't want to let go.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's like it's a permanent contraction.
Yeah.
I try to sit with it in meditation. Yesterday it was for the whole day, and I was in the I am for a while in love, but I could feel those energies inside that they were there. I couldn't let them go.
Yeah.
Then I tried to stay open and just with nothing, and I started to feel those energies starting to come up, but
Yeah.
they were stopping somewhere. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes it happens like when desire falls, I open up, and then I close very soon.
Yeah.
And it's painful. It's like I lose love. It's extremely painful.
Yeah.
And then I start those energies come that seek for love and pleasure and stuff like that. I see them. I stop like buying stuff or I don't know, drinking something. But the pain is there. It remains. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what do you feel in your body right now?
Well, no, I like talking to you, so I opened up. I'm very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
But there is this contraction. I don't know, in the belly, in the first chakra area. There, it's contracted.
What do you mean by the first chakra? Whereabouts do you mean that?
Like below the belly.
Oh, below the
somewhere.
belly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like where the energy goes into the body. It's
Yeah.
like it wants to filter it. It doesn't let it be the way it is.
Yeah.
It needs it to be in a certain way, in the way I don't know, probably the way I'm programmed for it to be.
Yeah. So just.
For example, today, I was with friends and it started pretty good as a connection, but when we started to discuss our plans on the areas where our minds wouldn't fit, I started to notice I was contracting, they were contracting, so I saw that where the love was broken.
Yeah.
The part that the mind doesn't want to let it just be the way it is, let the other be the way they are, let myself be the way, it's just fear,
Yeah.
contraction.
Yeah.
So
So now go into that feeling. So just shut your eyes and put your attention in that feeling.
yes. And it's like, I want to be right. That's what the feeling says. It's just like, wow, I want to prove that I'm right, something like that.
Yeah.
And that is trembling. There's
Yeah.
trembling in my feet.
So what happens if you're wrong? What happens if you can't prove that you're right and that
I
you're
feel
seen as
rejected.
wrong?
I feel unsafe.
Yeah.
I feel unwanted. I feel I'm going to get rejected.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, just in a way, because I know a lot of things, usually my mind finds a way to convince the other that I have something to give them. So I usually don't go over that step. I always find something to give the other.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be in that position where I'm useless, for example.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to let go. The mind is very resourceful and finding something all the time.
Yeah.
Being good enough for them.
But that's brilliant that you've seen this.
I see, but it's also very annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to see everything like that. So why do you find it very annoying? What's so annoying about it?
It comes with pride, and it's not love.
It's not what, sorry?
It's not love. I don't feel it as love. I feel it cold. I feel it mental. I don't know. It makes me sad in a way, because even though I convince the other, probably, that I'm giving them something good, it's like I feel sad afterwards. I feel like it's not necessarily natural. It's fake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like.
So where do you feel that feeling that it's fake?
Well, I feel sadness in my heart.
Yeah.
And I feel it's exhausting.
And what's so wrong with being fake?
Well, it's like I'm trying to sell an image that is not necessarily true, because sometimes probably I want to be the one who's broken, who suffers, and
wants to be the one that's what?
Who cannot be perfect, who can cry, who can suffer, and that's something that I don't allow myself to be. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay, now. It's like sometimes, in order for the other to love me or to like me and put this role of knowing something or giving something for them, I don't allow myself to have those moments when I suffer.
Yeah.
When I'm vulnerable.
Yeah.
When I don't know what to do with my life.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't have money or stuff like that. So I find myself in situations when I'm with somebody that's complaining about money and they have more money than I do, and then I feel something wrong with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I go with the story, I give them solutions to solve their problem, and I'm inside.
Yeah.
It's funny, it's very funny.
So
I just want to break down and cry.
Yeah, let's just go back to the feeling of fake, just because you're bringing in a lot of things, and so sometimes when the mind brings in a lot of things, it's often to avoid the one thing we're talking about. So go back to the feeling of being fake.
Well, now it comes with envy, for example. I felt some envy coming from there. For example, probably it comes up with you now because I imagine that you have a state of mind or a state of heart that I desire.
Yeah.
So envy comes up and I want to hide it. It's there.
Yeah. So just allow that envy to be there. And what is so wrong with feeling envious? So if you imagine a little child, like 2 or 3 years old, when it feels envious, it just expresses it. So why are you so bad for feeling that feeling?
I think I'm afraid I can do something that can hurt the other. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
It's a mental stop, I think. It's can say it's like morals. That I feel that if I'm envious of somebody, it's like I'm doing them wrong somehow.
Okay. So being envious isn't so much the problem, it's more the feeling that you're doing something wrong.
Yes, that
So
I'm
let-
bad for it.
So let's move to that feeling. So where do you feel that in your body? I've done something wrong.
It's in the same place. It's below my belly.
Yeah?
It's like it's something that I just like.
Yeah.
It's very contracted.
Yeah. So just stay with that feeling of I've done something wrong. And is that actually true, do you think?
I still don't believe that it is something wrong.
Sorry?
There is a belief that it's wrong. I see it.
Yeah.
I would like to say that it's not there.
Yeah. So just allow that feeling that you've done something wrong to come into presence and totally like surrender to it. Let it be there. Do you find when you have that feeling, you respond in a certain way to people or to things?
Yes, that's where I get fake because I close myself. I don't want to express them to them, and I give them the other side. I
Yeah.
give them a side where I'm in control and I can help them. Well, all I want to say is that I hate you for that, or I'm envious for that.
Yeah.
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 It's like I feel the feeling coming up to my throat, and that's where it stops.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I can't put it on the other because in a way I know that it's not there. That's the funny part of it. When you have times when you know it's not true, then comes a time when you believe it's true.
Yeah.
You get stuck somewhere in between. Like it can't say something that you know it's fake,
Yeah.
but
I
the
think
energy is there.
I think often we don't want to express something to people because we fear it's true. So there's like a strong attachment to that feeling.
What would happen if it would be true? What would happen if, for example, I could never see myself as love in this case? Like we're speaking now. Like I could never ever in this life see myself as love.
Yeah.
And if I could see that as being true, what would happen? That's the fear. That's the fear here.
Sorry, the fear is that you might see yourself as love.
Like in this life, until I die, I could never reach the state where I can see myself as love, as being love.
But does that actually
others,
matter in this moment, that thought?
No, right now I just want the contraction to go away.
but that thought is coming up. So that thought comes up. But does it actually matter, the future? If you do or don't see yourself as love, like how does that make you feel if I say that it doesn't matter tomorrow or the next day or next week?
Angry.
And where do you feel that anger?
In my head. Like I want to say something to contradict you. Like it's like you're telling me that I'm dead, or like you're taking away my life purpose or something very important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just feel that, and all that needs to happen is a recognition of what's happening in you. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to agree with me or disagree with me. It's just a recognition.
It's like I feel weak if I don't receive a validation.
Yeah.
It makes me feel very weak.
Yeah.
Worthless in a way.
Yeah. And where do you feel that worthlessness in the body?
Well, the contraction now, it's almost inside my body, on the whole axis, the whole central axis, like
Yeah.
an energy
Yeah.
there. Just wants to break free.
Yeah.
The impulse, for example, in life, it would be to just go into a different country and take a job and or go someplace where nobody knows me. Nobody can, I don't know, see me as being unperfect, unfulfilled, unrealized in a way. It's like an escape. Just
Yeah. Yeah. So this is all you need to do, is just recognize these things and see that your body, your brain and your body have certain responses, and that you believe that these responses will bring you freedom. So a part of you believes that one day you're going to get to this love, and that you've got to get to this love. And this is a neural pathway that's set up in your brain, which is firing thoughts saying, I've got to get to love. And you believe it's true. And you believe that you're wrong or guilty for not getting there. And the freedom is seeing beyond that, that there is a presence where that thought arises and disappears in. And that that thought and that feeling isn't the freedom. The freedom is beyond that. When we're addicted to the thoughts and feelings, then we're always trying to find relief for them in that world, in the neural pathways. And more than likely, before you got onto the enlightenment path, there was something else that you believed you had to do in order to be worthy.
yes, it was there.
Is this a
It was in the
pattern?
job. Yes.
Yeah.
It was in relationship. It was everywhere. The same thing.
So it's just seeing that for what it is. The feelings now that present themselves to you are true, like they're what's appealing, but what they're saying isn't true. So the feelings that you need to get to love for you are presenting themselves as a true feeling, but what they mean isn't true. It doesn't mean that you need to do that. The love is right here. So now I want you to think of something that you did do right, that you got right. So something in your life, something that you did really well.
Yes.
Can you think and express it? Do you think of it?
Yes, actually, yes.
So
If I think about yesterday,
yeah,
when there was time when I just opened up,
yeah,
and in a conversation, I didn't try to say something. I just allowed the persons to express themselves, and I opened up, and I could just see the happiness in them when
yeah,
they were just being seen, they were being loved.
yeah, yeah. So just go to that feeling of this beautiful act that you did for your friend, of just seeing them. How does that make you feel?
It's like I did nothing. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
And it's like I'm doing more by not doing it. And
yeah, yeah,
it's like all I want is not to want.
all you
No way.
want.
All I want is not to want, not to do, just
Yeah,
not to be, not to try, not.
yeah. So just feel all of that. So now you've gone back
It's a
into...
lot of joy. It's a cry of joy. It's a lot of joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So just go back to that and remembering that. Just let it be present. there's nothing that you need to do to get home. Home is here. And everything you've ever done is absolute perfection.
It comes something. It's like something that comes over it. It's like hate. Like it's a thought. It's a feeling that comes there that like it doesn't want let me enjoy this. It's like it's another me inside that I know is not me. It's a dynamic that makes me hate myself in that moment when I'm joyful. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt the feeling, the thought in my head. Like that it wanted to do something to ruin this state for me.
Yeah. So just recognize that.
Like it's telling me it's not true.
Yeah. So just see that. Just see that. So there's a part of you that wants to sabotage that.
Yes, exactly. It reminds me, for example, when if I see my mom on the television talking about politicians, and I feel that hate towards trans put outside, and I see that it's the same voice.
Yeah.
It's not mine, but it comes, and I somehow believe it. It's like somehow I don't know, my brain associated with believing my mom or it something like that. Like probably if I let it go, I don't know, I have to let go of believing my mom is right.
Just go to that feeling.
It's like I feel I have to separate from her if I do that.
Yeah. So just go to that feeling. And just allow it to be there.
It's a lot of fear.
Yeah. So why do you want to hurt yourself with that thought or your mum with those thoughts? Why does it want to stop that?
It doesn't want to hurt my mom. It wants to be there with her in that suffering. It wants to love her. It's like I don't want to abandon her, but leave her in suffering.
You don't want to what, sorry?
To abandon her,
Yeah.
leave her in suffering, leave her in pain. I feel like if I would be happy, I would abandon her in pain.
Okay.
I see it's not true because I see that when I'm happy, she's happy with me.
Yeah.
I feel I'm bad if I do that. I feel I'm guilty.
Yeah.
It's like this morning, I'm probably going to skip, but probably there is a connection. I woke up with this image, with this identity of a child, of a 10-year-old child. I saw myself that something inside me remained with the identity of the child that was 10 years old when the father died. And that's the dynamic that happened. The situation that my mom was in, the pain that she was in there, the suffering that I got, that I didn't get support, and the idea that I'm supposed to help the parent instead of being the one supported.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's an identity that I just, for a lot of years, I tried to run in all parts to escape from, but I found it everywhere I went. It was there.
Yeah.
I attracted people with similar dynamics like my mom, and I always felt guilty for their pain and always tried to fix them.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, because at one time I just left them, I abandoned them, I ran away from them. And then I felt guilty for doing that and came back, and it was back and forth. And just like something inside didn't realize that leaving them with their pain might be better than trying to be there and tell them that yes, you're right, your pain is true. Like I felt that I was betraying them. I told them, no, you're not right. Your pain is not true. What happened to you was 10 years ago. It's not real. I can't support you in this hatred. It's like it turned against me. Maybe I want to hate myself to be in that hate with them.
You want to what, sorry?
Made me hate myself to be in that hate with them. It's like I feel that their hate, their pain, it's in a way their self-hatred, that I was copying in a way to be there with them in that self-hatred.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining it well, because
the problem is slightly is that it's a little hard for me to hear the audio, so
yes,
I can't always pick up on what you're saying.
Yes.
But at the same time, I want to let you speak, so it's sort of. So just put your attention into the body, to all that sensation and all that emotion, and all the thoughts.
I feel my legs are very, very light. I feel there's a lot of energy going through my legs. And in the same time, there is the feeling that I'm not safe on my feet. That I'm missing the support that was there. I don't have a courage to step on it. I don't know if I explain it right. Like my feet are very light, but also a bit not mine.
Yeah. So just try to stay with the sensations in the body. So your mind is jumping around a lot of subjects.
Yes, yes.
So just try to stay with the sensations in the body.
Yes, I feel now that the mind saw that it can let go of the idea that it needs support from the parents, from mom, or from a missing father, but in the same time it doesn't want to let go of that feeling, so it's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
It wants to let go, but it feels like it kind of doesn't want to give it up completely. What would it be if it wouldn't have support? It's a doubt. It's a self-doubt.
Yeah. So just go back into the sensations in the body. And see your mind thinking about all these things.
It's the sensation. It's the same contraction in below the belly.
Yeah. So just
So
put
the
your,
energy gets light, very light,
yeah.
and then the contraction appears.
So just put
Now
your
it's
attention.
lighter.
Yeah, put your attention there. Just keep taking your attention back to that point.
When I put my attention there in the contraction, I start to have the thoughts that I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough,
That's okay. So just let
I
them come
cannot
up.
do it.
That's okay. Just let those thoughts come. They're just coming out. They're just releasing. You're not. You're doing everything right. You're not doing anything wrong. Just let it come. Just put your attention back there. So the thoughts come up, this and that, and this and that. And there is a stillness in all of it in the very instant.
It's like they get stuck in my head. They come to release themselves through my throat. They get stuck in my head, like the mind is trying to do something with that. Like
Yeah.
the mind is trying to release. Like there is a mechanism that believes it can let go of energy, the feelings in the body.
Yeah.
And it messes up the stuff. It does the opposite.
But it might be that this is absolutely perfect. That this right now is exactly what you have to feel.
And this feeling of it's okay inside. It's alright.
Suffering is the attachment to the person that's always trying to fix something. The person is always based around fixing, because our language is based around fixing. Our language was invented in order to fix environment and to survive better. So when we became identified with language, we became something we needed to fix. And it's not true. Everything's happening exactly as it should happen.
It's funny now. I had the thought that I don't want this to end, this openness. And yeah, I see the mind is putting it on our conversation and our connection now.
Yeah. It's amazing the way the mind works.
Yeah.
And then beyond all of that, it's total mystery.
It's a lot of joy.
Nice. Maybe it's actually a good time to end it now.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so
I
much,
love you.
Deanna, for calling. Thanks. Lots of love.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So, okay, guys, thanks. And thanks to the 2 callers that were so brave and exposing themselves. That's really beautiful. And the next stream is at Wednesday at 6 p.m. So, thanks, guys. Lots of love. Bye.